Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and my lovely NBs. We're here live in Honolulu, Hawaii, in the Punch Bowl as we see the Oregon Swashbucklers take on the Hawaii Kahunas. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, dude?
Doing excellent, doing excellent. It was a long flight out here, and it's gonna be a long flight back to the continental United States. But I'm ready for hopefully a fun game between the two teams that are, still feeling each other out in terms of where they sit in this new division.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, both of these teams are fairly young when it comes to the overall teams, and they're still trying to find their footing a little bit. Both teams have not really done the best, uh, to put it lightly, so far this season, but I'm sure that they're going to continue to try and do the most that they can in this game.
That they are. I mean, you mentioned young Hawaii. We saw a massive revitalization. A lot of their star core from before that we had seen aging out. They just kind of pulled the plug finally and said, "Okay, we're gonna really start fresh." Obviously, they brought in a high draft pick with Lorenzo Amato, and brought in Nur Awada in free agency to try and help lead this new team. But still haven't found their footing yet necessarily.
Yeah, for sure. And you can pretty much say the same thing over to the Swashbuckler as well. They still have a little bit more success. They still are technically in the hunt for possibly getting the eighth seed within the Western Conference. They are still trying to find a way to get some kind of consistency going throughout it. And of course, one of the big notice here is probably Astrid being someone to help lead the fray, as she was the Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, and made it to the All Star week this year. Arguably a hot commodity come free agency is Oregon. Their main concern going into next year will be the fact that so many of their players are free agents from that starting core, whereas Hawaii, most of their players are locked in at least for 2 more years.
Yeah, so this is certainly one of those situations where they are kind of doing a little bit of auditioning for trying to say that they are a core piece for the Swashbucklers. But of course, there I am very excited to see how this game goes as we are seeing some of the players come on court.
Yeah,
So yeah, here we. Oh,
go,
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
But yeah, well, I'm very excited to see how things are going to be going as we go into this game, as the Swashbucklers and the Kahunas are going to get ready for the tip-off. And it will be won by Hawaii here, as Iwata, they'll be the ones bringing it up for the team in white.
And keep in mind, Hawaii is dealing with a little bit of an injury bug right now. Eric Toivonen out, and I think Cece is still listed as day to day, but she's playing through the injury here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how much is going to play for being down a very important player in Toivonen, as the first one gets missed of the mid-range, and Knight bringing it up. Very long time swashbuckler, even going back as far as back as when they used to be called the Lone Stars.
I was gonna say, you talked about youth on the swashbucklers. I'm not sure you can really say that as a fully true statement with Marcus Knight. This being his, I believe, 11th or 12th season. He's a 2013 draftee, so been in the
Yeah,
league quite a while.
yeah, and a very good story too, coming in as an undrafted rookie for the team at the time, and has really kind of set his own being one of those veteran leaders for this young core. As we get a quick basket there, as we tie it up to a piece.
Yeah, when we talk about undrafted players, pointing every time at the time for the draft, those players who don't get picked up, we always tell them, look at Marcus Knight, look at Lance Wildfire. They're not the normal case, but that does not mean you can rule yourself out of being a successful player in the FBA just because you did not get drafted.
Yeah, for sure. As the Swashbucklers do take the lead with that quick basket, they're up 4-2 now with just under 10:30 left. As Kamano able to get the quick dunk, nice dish there, I believe, from Nerd, tying it back up for a piece.
Yeah, and all eyes are on Amato. Obviously, the high draft pick this year. Hawaii investing a lot into bringing in a player to lead going forward. Number one overall pick. You talk about the draft before, Astrid doing so well for the Swashbucklers.
Yeah, speaking of, it'll be a missed basket there for the Swashbucklers, so the Hawaii Kahunas have a chance to possibly take this lead.
And to be clear,
As no-
Astrid was a second overall pick last year, but might as well have been a first overall pick with going number 2.
Yeah. And right now McField is able to draw the foul. I believe that was against I'm trying to see who that was, but it was going to go on the line for 2.
And it's the first foul of the game, as long as, they
Yeah.
don't rack up 3. Once we start seeing someone's name appear 2 or 3 times in the first quarter, then we start getting a little concerned.
Yeah, for sure. As the first one does go down there for McField. We'll see if the second one's going to be made here. And it will be the case. So, Hawaii will take their first lead for this game, 6-4, with about less than 9:40 in the first quarter. Now we got to see if the momentum will continue on for the Kahuna side if they get a stop here. Right now we are under 10 seconds of the shot clock. And we hand it over to Victorson. Victorson does get the screen, go for the 3. And it's going to be in and out this time as CC does get the rebound.
Hawaii with a slight lead here and a quick dish down low to the post to their rookie, not able to get the layup though.
Yep, no good. So we have another opportunity for the Swashbucklers to possibly tie this up as Heidkamp. They're trying to survey the field. Ends up having it over to Dunphy. Dunphy handed back over to Camp. Lots of passing going into the paint. Now a quick dish to Knight for 3. And it's going to be in and out once again. So a little bit of a slow-paced possession that round.
Well, they got to the fur they wanted to. Wide open Marcus Knight from long range is a great percentage shot, just didn't fall there.
Yeah, for sure. And so we'll see if the Kahunas have a chance to possibly extend this lead these past couple of possessions. Haven't been very kind to them as Rudolph goes for 3. And it's not going to be good this time. So both teams starting to slow down a little bit offensively. Someone's going to have to possibly take advantage of it, though, to really get the momentum back on their side.
Yeah, and that's a second 3 attempt from Rudolph, and that's not really his range, but being forced to take it with the shot clock winding down, and there you go. Tie game after that basket. It's almost been at least a minute or 2, it feels like, since the last bucket.
Yeah, Ruka Falcon there with that quick clock. And then speaking of a quick basket, Nori Wada finding themselves in the paint, laying it up for 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to struggle, at least answer back immediately. But a screen for open 3 is how the Swashbucklers are going to answer. They're going to steal 3 points and take the lead here.
Yeah, right now, back and forth between both of these teams. And now with the Swashbucklers up by 1 with just about 7 minutes left in the first quarter. As right now, CC trying to find a way to get it into the paint, but instead has it over to McField. McField having something with it, passes to Nur. Nur going for a tough 3, and it's going to be in and out. Very tough shot there for Nur to take there, as we get some good defense there for the Bucklers.
Yeah, and that's just the game plan fell apart there, and it resulted in a tough shot. So, I mean, good on the defense for shutting down whatever the game plan was from the offense, but the offense needed to pivot if they saw that they were not making any kind of inroads. It looked like they wanted to go to the paint, but they decided to back out and at least take a contested shot in the post. Don't try and force it to the perimeter where your chances are even lower.
Yeah, it's a very tough spot here, but now we're seeing another situation team here but this time it's going to be good with that last second shot as Amado was able to get that quick basket.
See, a little higher percentage.
Yeah, and of course we can see another quick answer back here.
I was going to say, in the last 2 minutes, we've had more offense than the first 4 minutes of the game had.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams really starting to pick it up offensively now with these last few possessions as Nur was thinking of possibly driving into the paint, but instead passes it up. Now Rudolph has it. Rudolph passes over to Nur, and Nur will go for this 3, and they got it down.
Yeah, and that's something to kind of think about looking at the team. They don't have as many three-point players outside of Nur, really, it feels like. Rutherfield coming off the bench, maybe. But you look back at the old Hawaii, and they were such a big three-point shooting team. And now they've kind of had to pivot a little bit about their play style here.
Yeah, it's a change of philosophy a little bit here is right now They don't really have the same presence as they did last year with both Zach Tate and Scooty Barrett being able to try and help at least try to have more focus in the paint as we get a foul being drawn. So we'll see a couple of baskets on the line for the Kahunas as Iwata is able to make the first one.
So Marcus, as a player, can you even see the free throw line when you're standing there? Because I feel like you could cheat a little bit considering the coloring.
I mean, I think that like you could probably utilize a little bit of the lines on the outside. I think. I mean, we already know the Kahunas are very known to be quite quite like out there when it comes to their designs from both their jersey standpoint and pretty much the overall. As we get a quick blocking foul, I'm very surprised on that one.
Do you
That
not
could have been a chart.
Do you not see the blue iguana that is dressed in neon pink right now on the court?
Yes, it's very colorful. It's very colorful. Hey, you know, I think that it's always good to see a nice good amount of unique color schemes within the league. I say we probably have the most unique out there, I would say, within furry sports. And we get a quick three there, and it's not going to be good this time as CC does get the rebound. I mean, hey, look at the bright side. If you are a Kahuna fan, you got plenty of options to choose if you decide to go to a Pride event.
It is certainly very bright on the court right now.
It is. As we get a quick pass up to CC, but it's not going to be good. I believe that was blocked there. So, right now, the Kahunas are still up by 4. We'll see if the Swashbucklers are going to try and cut this down, and they will do that with High-Kip going for 3.
See, if I'll give the Kahunas one thing, is that they are the one team that is thankfully preventing us from ever doing a full court team color. Because can you imagine a full court pink? Yeah, I think Hawaii is the only team that's preventing that poor idea being implemented.
I think that would be the one time where we are allowed to wear shades, right? If that were to ever happen. Rudolph getting that 3 though.
TVs would burst into flames at home, unable to handle the sheer brightness.
Yeah, I'm sure that grants a lawsuit or of some sort. But right now we get to see a nice shot there going for mid-range as Lisa Dunphy is able to get that mid-ranger. Very beautiful looking shot too.
Yeah, again, the tempo is absolutely just skyrocketed at the halfway point of this first quarter, and there was no timeout even involved. It's like both teams suddenly woke up. They started in a lower gear and picked up, at a big block there from Swashbucklers, able to get a chance to take the lead here.
Yeah, either that or tie the game with this basket, and they are not going to get it done this time as CC is going to get that quick rebound. But we are seeing the pace pick up a little bit here on the Kahunas, and especially right now seeing Nerd trying to find their way into the paint, but it's not going to get it done. But CC cleans it up as they bring it up back up to 4, 20-16.
Yeah, CC, Hawaii has made a few interesting acquisitions in free agency. Obviously, CC coming over from Huntsville, Nur coming over from Edmonton, and then obviously Eric also coming from Edmonton by trade. So building a team from all around the league, and that is a timeout, first one of this game.
Yeah, very surprising that we can finally get the first timeout this late in the first quarter, but it just really kind of shows that both of these teams are just very tightly knit as they are continuing to learn and grow from this scenario.
And you have to imagine, looking at who's stepping up as the leader on this team. Oh, big 3 though. Ooh. Immediately on the inbound play for Hawaii.
Yeah, great 3-point shot there from Amato, extending it up now, back up to 4. And right now, poor John answering right back with the mid-ranger as we are seeing some of the bench for both sides coming into this. And honestly, that's a good question. I would say, like, at least for Hawaii, you could probably argue that with Eric, being a longtime veteran, has been around the league for quite a bit. He could be considered as a leader for the Kahunas. Meanwhile, we get a quick miss there for on the Swashbucklers end. But for Oregon, I would probably have to say Marcus Knight is still probably the de facto leader, but that could change coming next year. It could pass the torch over to Astrid.
Very much so. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the. I'm realizing now that we might not want to call them the Hawaii Kahunas, considering how many Edmonton players they did sign or trade for between Nur, Eric, Niren.
Yeah, I would say that they did kind of poach quite a bit from the team up north, up in Canada. But I mean, they're still trying to find their way through.
And Tyler Rutterfield and Cece from Huntsville. A third of their roster is made up from 2 different teams that they traded or took from this last free agency.
So would we call them the Mayor Raiders or something like that?
Oh my God, no.
Hey, you know, I'm coming up with some good names here. If they expand the FBA at some point, or if at all, I'm coming up with some pretty good names. Y'all should hire me, 100%.
I'd finally be free from you in the booth, but no, Amato gonna hit a massive 3 there as the shot clock wound down.
Yeah, with just about less than 10 seconds left of this game.
Quarter.
We'll see quarter, excuse me.
If the game's already done, that'd be the fastest. Okay, Hawaii's won, people. We can head home. Thank you for coming out tonight. Game's over.
Look, you are literally just like taking away from my focus of the game, having these like side conversations. I blame you.
It's called commentary, Marcus.
Yes, but
what they pay us to do.
Yes, they pay us for. This is what they're here for. They're here for our beautiful commentary about these awesome players playing this wonderful game. That's what they're here for. As we're about to start the second quarter here, with the Swashbucklers down by 2, 26-24. And it will be interesting to see how well this is going to go for both of these teams, as majority of the second unit on both sides are here, as Katu goes along, trying to find the way into the paint, but he's going to be stepping out of bounds.
No, reach in.
Reach in foul.
Yes.
Reach in foul on Adams. So it will be staying on the Swashbucklers' end.
So I did want to talk, kind of touch on, you know, obviously we're in Hawaii, and this location is one of the most difficult in order for players, for supporters to travel to support their team. And we've kind of seen a Hawaii have a dominant home court advantage, and you could say the same for Alaska. But it seems like this year Alaska's home court advantage is giving them even more benefits than normally Hawaii's would do.
Oh, yeah. I think it's also because of the fact that I think Alaska's roster has been together for a little bit now, and they have really utilized a lot of their high draft picks to make a very solid team. Meanwhile, for the Kahunas, they're just not getting a hard reset. So some fans might not have the willingness to go ahead and support this team at the moment, because you know this is a little bit of a reset button for the squad, but it has not garnered still a lot of fans willing to come in and try to support the Kahunas.
Oh yeah, I'd say about 95% of the fans in the crowd right now are sporting Kahunas jerseys or colors. It's just so difficult for other teams to really have enough support unless for some reason a fan moved out to Hawaii anyways.
Yeah, it's certainly going to cost quite a bit of money, because having a ticket over to Hawaii is nowhere near the cheapest in the world right now. But right now, McDonald's going over trying to lay it up, but it's not going to be good there, as Adams does get the rebound. And Nur, the only starter for the Kahunas, taking advantage there as they get the quick finger roll, as they're now up by 4 once again. But now get a quick pass over to Falcon. Falcon going for a mid-range is no good there. So the Swashbucklers are slowing down a little bit. We'll see if the Kahunas do take advantage here.
Yeah, and that's where you really look to see, like, how does Marcus Knight lead the team? Or are we seeing, Astrid or someone younger stepping in and starting to try and take the reins? As Nur nails another one there, up to 6 now.
Yeah, they're really doing a very good job, as they are one of the only starters on the court. And we get a nice 3 there. I believe that was from Shuffle Bottom. And she's able to go for that quick 3.
Yeah, all the way on the side, literally slithering in along the line to stay in bounds.
And now Rutherford answering right back with a 3 of his own.
And that's why I like to see Rutherford coming off the bench has been such a boon for Hawaii with his 3-point prowess. I feel like he could arguably even be a potential starter, but the fact that they brought in Amato in the draft, perhaps they see him as more of a spark off the bench.
Yeah, for sure, and possibly a guaranteed 6th first spot. But obviously that could be a subject to change, as right now Rutherford has the rock. Getting a quick screen there. Not a lot of time on the shot clock. Going for a mid-range, and it's good.
Yeah, sometimes when your starters are struggling, there's that 6th fur, that bench player that the coach knows, hey, if I tell them to go in there and hit 3 shots, they'll find a way to hit 3 shots and get the game going in their favor. Maybe they can't keep up with the opponents on defense, which is why they're a liability in the long run, but in the short term, they can be a spark.
Yeah, right now you are hearing the crowd quite a bit now as this game goes on, but they were quieted very quickly with that basket, as now the Kahunas are looking for another scoring opportunity, as we get Adams, I believe, drawing the foul there. So he'll go on the line for 2.
Yep, foul cam getting called for the contact. Hawaii slowly building a little bit of a lead here.
Yeah, we are seeing quite a bit of a bit of a cushion, as I'd like to say, for this, as they are waiting for the first one. We'll see if it gets extended here. And I want to say, with both these teams being on the bottom of the conference right now, do you think that a lot of teams are kind of looking forward to possibly into the draft at this early on, even though we're just over the halfway mark of the season?
I mean, obviously their scouts are busy year round watching. We got March Madness going on. A lot of eyes are on the college game right now as well, but at the same time, the teams can't really be starting to question, who's going to be where, especially because of the lottery drawing. You could be at the bottom of the league and still end up with the 8th overall pick. There is no guarantee to be a top pick just because you had a struggle throughout the year, which is why, you're encouraged to go for every win. Tanking does not guarantee you a better pick.
Yeah, well, 100%. I think that that the FBA has done a very good job trying to make sure that, to make it as fair as, make it as fair as possible, to make sure that no team will deliberately take their season and try to get the best player overall in these drafts. But it's always, I know this is a topic that a lot of fans love to bring up when their team isn't been doing very well.
Oh, no doubt. It's something positive they can talk about. They can say, it's very hard to talk about, hey, did you see the game last night when your team lost by 30 or something? But you can talk about, who, the positivity of building forward. Who are they going to pick to push this team to a better position? So from a fan standpoint, I 100% get it. But from a professional player team standpoint, it's a distraction.
Yeah, for sure. And we get a nice quick basket is right now the Kahunas found their ways up to a 7-point lead now. They're doing very well so far in this game, trying to contain the Swashbucklers, as we get a quick shot in the paint there by Runica as they cut the deficit down.
Besides, it's my job to spend, 3 hours talking about draft boards incessantly on FSPN.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. I mean, my head still hurts from the last one that we did. But in any case, we are getting to see some quick substitutions as we are now starting to see some of the starters returning back onto the court. And right now, Amato hands it over to Rudolph. Rudolph going for three, and it hits the side of the rim.
Yeah, Rudolph struggling here tonight, trying to force some shots. And, you know, Hawaii has a bit of a lead, but they can't afford to just throw away shots like that.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and utilize some of the game plan as poor John hands it over to Marcus. Knight getting blocked there. Woo! Some great defense there for the Kahunas with that rejection. Now Rudolph hands it over to CC. CC going for a quick mid-ranger, and it's good. Was defended well there by Falcon, but it was not enough. And now the Swashbucklers are trying to find a way to take down this cushion a little bit as Falcon trying to lay it up. Will try to get a second opportunity, but not get the third one. But eventually gets fouled there by CC. CC was really lucky there that Runica was not able to get that easy basket because she had plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, but we'll go to the line 4-2. Try and get some points on the board. Good on the first.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see these two ladies go toe-to-toe in the paint. That's probably one of those X-Factor matchups that we have to keep an eye on throughout this entire game. As both free throws have been made here for the Swashbucklers as they cut the deficit down to 5, 43-38. Now, McField hands it over to Iwata. Iwata laying it up, and it's no good there. They were not able to get it down this time, so we could see the Swashbucklers cut it down to a one-possession game potentially if they're able to make this basket here. Dunphy does get the screen. Passes it over to Falcon, and Rubica slams it down.
Great screen, great drawn-up play to get an open look. Either Dunphy was going to get a line to the basket or Falcon, and Falcon obviously able to dunk it down there. Great assist.
Yeah, and now with that, they're only down by 3. But, of course, as I say that, Amato is able to go for that quick mid-ranger, cutting this, bring the deficit back up to 5. So could we see another screen be utilized here? But instead, it will be passed over to Falcon. Falcon getting guarded very well here, double-teamed actually, and the basket will not be good as CC will get the rebound.
Hawaii now a chance to tack a few more on, but I think fatigue might be starting to show. Nerves been on the floor for a while. A few minutes of break was not enough, but a great dish to CC, and CC drives the basket. The Swan, not caring if she's injured, she's going to slam it down with some authority.
Yeah, CC showing no remorse with that ferocious dunk. Great pass there by Nur. I mean, you got to really appreciate their court vision as that beautiful pass right there into the paint. Yeah, right now the Kahunas really doing a lot here as they are up by 7. What do you think the Swashbucklers need to do in order to try and not make this deficit much worse than it is?
I mean, it's hard for me to say. Okay, I take it back. Shooting threes like that, poor John did not need to take that kind of shot. It's just one ball just keeps going the way of Hawaii. It's not like they've had major runs that blew the Swashbucklers out of the way. It's been a point here, a point there that they've had the advantage on. I said the defense needs to start clamping down on the Kahunas because right now CC is just starting to pick it up down the post, and Nur from the perimeter has just been deadly, as is Amato tonight.
It's been a little bit of a pick your poison right now as all 3 of those players have been a bit hot as Rutherford will draw the foul. Well, Rutherford did cause the foul right there, and so we'll see a couple of free throws here for Dunphy. The first one is going to be good, and that's probably a good way to try and at least make it a little bit easier to see if you can put a couple of players into foul trouble, especially CC. But the second one will not be made there as CC will get the rebound. So the lead is going to be 8 for the Kahunas, 49-41. Right now.
Say just over 3 minutes and some change left in a tough three from Hawaii. Not good.
Yeah, so now the Soft Buckles has a chance to cut it down a little bit more as Marcus getting guarded by Amato, trying to find a way to get to the paint, but instead hands it over to Dunphy. Now pass it over to Astrid. Astrid's been very quiet this game. Getting the quick screen. Trying to go for a tough three, and it's good!
Why did you start talking bad?
What do you mean? Hey, you know what? I'd say that was a caster's blessing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, you're going to call it a player for not performing. Like, oh, I heard that, Marcus. I'm just going to hit this really tough three.
Hey, you know, I am giving them the opportunity to prove me wrong. And I think that's a good thing, you know? That's a great thing for a player to do, to say, hey, man, shut up. I know what I'm doing.
So by that logic, Hawaii's winning the championship this year because you were talking crap about their performance.
Oh, yes, 100%. They're totally winning it all.
Take it to the sports betting book sites, guys. Do it. Marcus says it.
Oh, yes. I'm always right, as you already know. We get a quick three there, but it's not going to be good this time.
Set up. There's no need to be taking a fading away diagonally three when there's no one around and the shot clock is still in your favor.
Yep, and now Marcus not making them pay, and before a blink of an eye, the Swashbucklers are now only down by 3. So the Kahunas need to go ahead and try and clean things up. It had a couple of messy possessions on their end.
Yeah, well, very much so. I know unnecessarily difficult shots coming out from them, and you see already they're double teaming Amato down low in the post, and that's a great way. Draw the double team and dish it back to the perimeter.
Yeah, very excellent 3 there, bringing it up back to a steep 2 possessions for the Kahunas. And we'll see if the Swashbucklers try to enter back here with a 3 of their own, as Poor John is able to bring it down. Briarcliff, Poor John making it rain with that one. Now CC hands it over to Adams. Amato go for the pass to CC, and CC is just getting anything she wants in the paint. Great pass there from Amato, and that is certainly gonna get the crowd going as we get a quick alley-oop pass to Falcom on Oregon's end. So both teams trying to, you know, stroke it a little bit and showing their stuff in the paint.
Yeah, back and forth we go, and Hawaii at least stepping on here, and a tough shot in the post, not able to convert. Oregon could tie it up here with a 3. Astrid, Marcus is talking bad about you.
Yeah, well, Dunphy has the rock at the moment, so we don't have to worry about that. But Poor John passing it over to Dunphy. Dunphy's waiting for that screen. We'll get it. We'll have to go for that 3. It's good. Tying it back up with 4 seconds left in the first half. We'll see what's going to happen as Amato going for a half-court heave, and it's no good. So at the end of the first half, we are tied up 54 apiece as we head into halftime.
Yeah, and Oregon's 3 game has really come into play in that last, little bit there at the end of the half. And that might be the difference maker. If Oregon's able to start hitting these threes with a fair bit of consistency, not only is it going to help them potentially build a lead, it's going to help open up the post. Because I think that's been an area that they've struggled in a little bit recently, besides, the second chance opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that is going to be a keen eye for to possibly go ahead and counter what the Kahunas are doing, because the Kahunas have done very, very well within the paint, being able to get those open looks down there as well for CC, because CC has really been a star in the first half.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to dive into the stats now. For Hawaii, it's been the rookie Amato. 14 total points. Awada, not too bad either, 11. CC 10 as well, and it's a pretty even spread between those three, and then even down into the bench contributing. Rutterfield putting up 7 already.
Yeah, I mean, like it just kind of goes to show how a lot of these players, especially with the spread that's been going on for the Kahuna's end, looking into some of these stats is, as you said, for the bench, it's been quite excellent as we do see some great passing here from both Rudolph and Adams getting a couple assists in their own coming off the bench.
Yeah, and I mean it's the efficiency, and Rudolph, maybe needs to quick checking the threes up, 1 for 5. But other than that, I have no real complaints coming in looking at the Hawaii side, except for maybe I'll have to see what the other side looks like in terms of offensive rebounds. And it's really been over only Falcam who's been getting those offensive rebounds. As she is just 1 rebound away from a double double already.
Yeah, that's pretty insane, but that kind of goes to show like how Runica has held her own against Cece throughout this game. And you can also have to put into the fact that she had a couple of open looks in the paint as well, being able to go up to 12 points fairly quickly. And of course, Marcus Knight also having a fair bit of good play, though he's a little bit inefficient, being 40%. But he threw up 10 shots, so I got to give him a little bit of leeway.
Well, and his struggles are coming from beyond the arc, 1 for 4, and just maybe a little bit cold from beyond there, but he did hit a big one. Seeing if maybe he can start picking it up as the rest of the team has started to hit threes as well. As you see across the board, shooting about 50% from beyond the arc as a team as a whole. And
Hmm.
that could be the factor in getting them a win here tonight, is if they can keep up that consistency from beyond the arc and if they can keep getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, for sure. As now we're gonna go ahead and get into the start of the third quarter, as we are tied up 54 apiece. We'll see if the Swashbucklers try to take their first lead, because they haven't really had a lead since, I would say, probably the early goings of the second quarter, and that's not gonna happen this time.
Yeah, Hawaii, I mean, they never pull. I don't think we've seen a double-digit lead here tonight, but it felt like Hawaii's kind of had the momentum until the last 2 minutes of that half. So now it's on see who can actually get off on the right foot here. Or is there going to be a slow start like the start of the game was?
Yeah, it could be anything, as Amato able to lay it up and in, giving the lead back over to the Kahunas. And yeah, there has not been a double-digit lead. I think the biggest lead so far in this game has been 7. So it's been fairly tightly knit in this contest between these two teams, as we get Marcus Knight laying it up and in, tying it back up.
Yeah, I want to see how Marcus responds here. I mean, again, we talked about him being later, and of course, CC gonna just dunk it down. That was defense was not ready, and Oregon needs to be prepared. They cannot be falling asleep like that.
Yeah, not at all. I think that especially when it comes to CC and the game that she has had so far in this contest, you have to be able to at least try and clamp down in the paint, especially as Marcus trying to get into there, but it looks like it's a charging foul, so it will stay over to the Swashbucklers' end, I believe. Oh, no, it's a turnover, so they actually called the charge. So the Kahunas has a chance to possibly extend this lead after that unforced turnover. As Nur trying to go for that mid-range is not going to be good this time.
Yeah, a little early in the shot clock, and that's where pace can be a detriment when you try and pick it up and you're going too quick. And
Oh my gosh!
Oregon going for the alley-oop, Falcam slamming it down. Oh. Well, never mind. Go as fast as you want.
I mean, if you want to pick it up and really take advantage of a team not showing a lot of hustle, you could definitely do it with that kind of basket. But we'll see if that continues, as CC ends up losing the ball to Runica. And now we're trying to get a quick pass into the paint, but it gets deflected by Amato, and it will be Kahuna's ball. So right now, both teams trying to pick it up defensively.
You know what I say? 18-second shot clock. Let's do it.
Oh gosh, that'll be something. Iwata going for 3,
Woo.
and it's good. They are making it look pretty out there, as the Kahunas are now up by 3, 61-58.
Yeah, good awareness to see Iwata had gotten open. Ooh, ball strip, but stays with Oregon.
Yeah, and right now, Runica hands it over to Victorson. Victorson going for 3, but it hits the side of the rim. So now the Kahunas trying to see if they can extend this lead once again in 2 possessions as Amato dishes to CC, and CC does get the foul and 1. And we're seeing a little bit of discussion there from Runica. She's not really happy with that one.
Well, the free throw will not count either way, and I mean that's a bit of a blessing for Oregon right now.
Yeah, and now the Swashbucklers are possibly looking to try and cut this back to 1 possession, as the crowd is screaming defense. And right now, Knight trying to find some kind of opening, having to go for a mid-ranger, and it's not going to be good. Some good defense there by Nur. Now Amato finding a way into the paint, going for the mid-ranger. It's no good though, but CC is not going to get it down either, trying to get that cleanup, so it will be the Swashbucklers' ball as Dunphy hands it over to Heinkip. Heinkip into Marcus. Marcus is trying to find his way into the paint, but he's not getting a lot of opportunities there as he does dish it back over to Dunphy. A lot of passing, Knight having to go for that tough 3, and it's going to hit the side of the rim.
Yeah, talk about Hawaii clamping on defense. 5 different players for the Swashbucklers touched the ball that possession, but not one of them saw a lane to the basket. It's going to be Iwata for 3. No good from beyond the arc, though.
Yeah, so we get a bit of a break here for the Bucklers, as now the crowd is still screaming deep at the top of their lungs, but it won't be enough there as we get a quick basket, as the Bucklers will only be down by 3 with that basket, 63-60. And right now, Rudolph go for a 3, but it's not going to be good this time. So right now, both of these teams was hot in the early goings of this quarter. Now it's starting to slow down for both of them. And of course, as I say that, another 3 gets shot. I feel like that needs to be like a Cass's curse counter for me, because I've been getting a lot of that lately in this game.
I mean, maybe we need to just get a jar, and every time you cast a curse, you put like $5 in, and maybe we can afford to come to Hawaii when it's not like a Hawaii host for SportsDen.
So are you just trying to get trying to have me pay your ticket at some point?
Clearly, I think at the rate you're going, you could get it done before finals.
Oh my gosh. Well, in any case, we get another timeout here. I believe it's from the Swashbucklers' end, and I can't really necessarily blame them here, as this is a very tightly knit game so far.
That it is. I mean, as soon as one team, and it's really been Hawaii, that's looked like they're about to, they're on the cusp of building a significant lead and running away with it, that Oregon just steps up and says, nope, we're going to tie it up. But they just haven't been able to take the lead, and that's my concern right now. Yes, they only need a lead for the final second of the game, but you don't want to leave it to that. You want to have, a bit of a cushion. You want to build a lead. Yeah. You don't want to play we're going to snipe it at the end.
And Amato being able to swipe the ball away for the Kahunas is...
Cheetah has fast paws. What do you expect?
Yeah, he's very quick. He's very quick with his paws. As Nur, they're looking to try to get something on as passes over to CC. CC's not going to get the basket down, though. So the Swashbucklers has a chance to tie it with the 3 if they get it. Right now, Victorson is going to go for that 3, and it's going to be in and out. So again, not a very strong showing behind the arc so far for Fickerson. We'll see how if that changes as the game goes on. And now Iwata is able to go right past their defender and laying it up and in with a double hook shot. Very good speed there from Nur.
Oregon needs to answer here. As you hear the crowd getting very excited, and that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, especially over here in Hawaii, as we get a quick screen there. Dunphy getting blocked there, but Dunphy tried to get the ball back, but it will be a shot clock violation, so it will be Kahuna's ball. And I think Dunphy was actually asking for possibly a foul there, trying to argue that, you know, she was kind of grabbed at the last moment, but it will stay on Kahuna's end. So now the Kahunas have a chance to possibly extend this lead once again. As Nur trying to go for that quick finger roll, but it's not going to be good this time as Knight bringing it up. He's over to McDonald. The crowd once again screaming defense. As Heidkamp hands it over to Runica. Runica going for a 3. It is good.
That's one way to silence the crowd, is he's here almost silent completely after that.
Yeah, you can hear a pen drop after that basket. And now the Swashbucklers are still up by 5. I didn't finish it. I didn't finish saying the sentence, so that didn't count. That does not count. As right now, the Swashbucklers trying to see if they can go ahead and get back to one possession. But a quick pass over to Falcom, and they do just that. So right now, Runica Falcom already close to 20 points, and we haven't reached the end of the third quarter. She has been lights out in the paint. And right now, Rudolph going for 3, and it's going to go in and out there. So at this moment, the Swashbucklers trying to see if they can cut this down to possibly 1 point, or perhaps even better, tie it. Let's get a quick pass up to Dunphy. Dunphy going over to McDonald. McDonald for 3, but it's not going to be good.
Rutterfield with the ball has the opportunity to maybe throw up another 3 himself, but going to dish it instead.
Yeah, right now, it looks like the Kahunas are trying to slow the pace down a little bit as Rutherford goes for a mid-ranger, and it's good. Nothing but net. Making it easy. So now, Marcus Knight bringing it up. Marcus hands it over to Runica. Runica laying it up, and Runica has really just been the main answer for the Swashbucklers here, as I believe she's now hit 21 points, as the Kahunas will have to call a timeout.
Yeah, again, it feels like Hawaii on the cusp of running away with something, but they just can't, get it going. Oregon able to stay step in step with them.
Yeah, and I think kind of the big thing is the fact that they haven't really found an answer to contain Runica. Cece has struggled a little bit against her in this game, but we'll see if they can pick it up here, as Amato trying to go for a mid-ranger, but gets rejected there by Runica. Runica having a time of her life right now. It's out on the court.
Yeah, and I'm going to say CC, on offense has had plenty of answers for Runica. It's just been on defense she hasn't been able to.
Yeah, both players have really kind of gone tit for tat so far, as Rutherfield going for a tough mid-ranger, and it's going to be good. Oh, my goodness.
Trying to get the contact call as well, but no foul whistled for there. It's still able to convert it, though.
Yeah, a very, very beautiful shot, as they are back up to 2 possessions. But of course, Runica making that diminish real quick, as they're now once again down by 3 after an alley-oop layup. Right now, Rutherfield found a lane, passing it over to Peninsula, and he will get fouled. So Niran will go on the line for 2. And Niran has been on quite a few teams prior to where he is right now. Bit of a journey for, but a very solid piece coming off the bench, as the first one does get made. And the second one will be good. So right now it just seems like 5-point lead has been kind of the majority of this game. We'll see if that changed with that basket, but nope, that's not going to be the case.
Sometimes when you're wide open, that doesn't mean you should shoot.
I mean, maybe sometimes some people can feel it, But right now, Rutherford trying to show how it's done, but not going to get it down this time. But now we're seeing a little bit of a pickup on the pace here as we get a quick layup here in the mid-range.
So you're telling me back in the day you would not have screamed at Bobby if he took a 3 if he was open?
Oh, I mean, I think I would probably tell him to be like, hey, I get that it's there, but you might not want to do that. That's not your shot. Remember, he was quite bigger than me when we were playing together, okay? I don't think I would yell at his face.
Okay, you let the coach yell at him.
Yes, I think that's probably more
okay.
prominent. I'll just be like, hey, I know it's tough, but that's not your shot. Speaking of, Katsu able to tie it up 77 apiece, so we're once again back to where we started, all tied up once again. But will the Swashbucklers take a lead if they get a stop here?
Good question. Is it they can get a stop? Zamato has just been feeling it tonight. The rookie able to convert there.
Yeah, right now it has been Amato and CC and Nur really being the sole offense for the Kahunas, as we are just basically 10 seconds left of this game, as there's not a lot of separation between the shot clock and the game clock. And
Quarter,
they're making
Marcus.
sure to quarter.
Not game.
I know.
Unless
look, I'm
overtime.
Game, okay? Oh gosh. I mean, I would love an overtime game. I'll be honest with you. Because heck, you had a whole half-court heave a couple of the games ago. I want to have my excitement too.
Okay, we had the overtime Albany versus Winnipeg.
Okay, but a new year resets every time. We gotta have something.
Well, it's also been 2 years, so
fresh.
to be fair.
Exactly. We need some like oomph. But we are down to the final quarter here, as we are all tied up 79 apiece. And right now, it could be anyone's ball game. I mean, we could potentially see an overtime game with how neither team has let up.
But here's the problem, Marcus. By wanting it, you're caster cursing yourself.
Am I though?
Yes. You have to not want it to have it.
I mean, it's all about the excitement as Niran does get the layup for 2, as the Kahunas once again take the lead.
And that was great core, whereas you saw about to take the shot, but saw Niran open, so dished it to Niran as he drove to the basket and able to get a higher percentage shot rather than going for the tough 3. And that's smart shot taking and smart court awareness. But Dunphy with the pump fake, not able to get it though.
It would have been nice if, considering the fact that her defender took a bite out of that one. But right now we're seeing Niran trying to go for a tough mid-range, but instead passes it over to Namkaki. Right now, a lot of passing so far, as Nur almost loses the ball there, but does regain it as they have not a lot of time to shoot it. Hands over to Niran. Niran going for a tough long 2, and it's good.
Field goal percentage has been, field goal percentage has been very even tonight between both teams.
Yeah, and it could have been a disaster too, but they made something out of it, as Katu looking to possibly take this back to a one-possession game as they are down by 4. Said this is a Briarcliff going for 3, no good. And Briarcliff has made quite a few threes, though, so the Kahunas have to be really careful not leaving them open like that, as Neron tried to go for a mid-ranger, but it's not going to be good this time. Yeah, right now, John hands it over to Katu. Katu into the Dunphy. Dunphy going for three, and it's good. So with that basket, it's only a 1-point game as Ner hands it over to Rutherford. Rutherford for three. It's good.
Answering right back immediately to get the crowd into it again.
Yeah, the crowd being the highest it can go at the moment. As an alley-oop layup trying to be made by John, but it's not going to be good this time. Rutherford going for three, and he gets the 4-point play. Are you kidding me?
Well, a chance for 4-point play.
Oh my goodness. That could be a little bit costly. You don't see that often here as the 4-point play does commence. Oh my goodness. That was an insane turn of events. And with that, it is an 8-point lead from Kahunas just like that. And of course, the Swashbucklers will have to take a timeout here because that is not something you really want to see if you're a buckler.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but that might be the beginning of the end for the Swashbucklers if they do not answer back immediately, because a 4-point play to take such a big lead is an absolute momentum killer.
100%. That's definitely going to make things quiet down, but Pryor is going to go ahead and slam it down with that one, trying to make sure that they stay pumped into this one as they are down by 6. Again, we have not had a double-digit lead this game, and that three is not going to be good there from Ner. So, at this moment, Katu. Pass it over to Porjon. Porjon dunking it down.
That's one way to, pick it up really quick. Two quick baskets off a turnover / stop. A chance for another, but no.
No. Ner started to wake up a little bit. Has been doing very well so far in this game. And as I say that, Rudolph gets a quick steal. We might see a little bit more of an offensive showing here, but that basket's not going to be good. But right now, Dunphy passing it over to Vickerson. Vickerson loses the ball this time. And right now, Penisko trying to lay it up, but it's going to be out of bounds to the Bucklers, it looks like. The last one to touch it was a Kahuna. So, the Swashbucklers will have a chance to cut the deficit down to possibly a 1-position game if they get a 3. But we'll see if that happens. As Lisa. Let's get the quick screen. And we'll draw the foul. It will be against Ner this time. And that'll be their first personal of the game. So you don't have to worry about any kind of fouling out on their end.
Oh, there's plenty of time to, get a flagrant 2.
Okay, I mean, I would hope that wouldn't happen, but the first basket is going to be made for Dunphy. As the second one will go down. So, right now, the Swashbucklers are still within it with only down by 4, but the Kahunas are still trying to find a way to see if they can get this back to a good cushion as Ner trying to find a way, but gets swatted! And it will be going over to, it will be staying on Kahuna's end, but what a great block there.
Too bad the fan won't get to keep the ball as gets launched into the crowd.
Yeah, but now the Kahunas don't have a lot of time on the shot clock with 3.3. As Ner going for a mid-range, and they will get the end one opportunity after Marcus Knight gets called for his 3rd foul. That is just not something you want to see at all. It's a very costly fouls here at some missed opportune moments. And now Nur has a chance to make the old school 3-point play here, and they will do just that. So, the Kahunas once again up by 7, threatening to make it a double-digit lead here if they get a stop. Of course, the Swashbucklers are trying to make sure that doesn't happen here as Heidkamp gets the alley-oop dunk.
Yeah, at least getting high percentage shots going, but 5 points now, and their defense needs to step up and they need to stop fouling. I mean, we've seen it lead to extra points, the 4-point play, and even the 3-point plays.
Yeah, and those are some very costly ones because that can really blow this game out of proportion. At Knight able to clean things up here as he lays it up. So now we're back to a 3-point game. And I mean, I've said that a lot, it seems like this game, as Rudolph goes for 3, and it's not going to be good this time. So the Swashbuckler has a chance to possibly tie this up if they get a 3.
I think it's been good once for him, so just needs to stop.
Yeah, right now we're getting a quick screen there. Marcus passes it over to Heidkamp once again, but it's not going to be good. But Heidkamp does get her own miss. Knight going for 3, and it's good.
Woo! Tied up again.
Yep, a really good shot there for Marcus Knight. Marcus might be waking up just at the right time as they tie it up 95 apiece with just about 6 minutes left of the game. And Neron lays it up, not going to be good. And now the Swashbucklers get a chance to possibly get their first lead since the second quarter. Now Heidkamp hands it up to Knight. Knight going for 3, and it's good. Oh, wowie. The long-time vet for the Swashbucklers is starting to wake up, and that might spell a little bit of a scare for the Kahunas.
I mean, Oregon has the lead for the first time, I think, since the first or early in the second quarter, and it came off of a huge shot. Now it's up to Hawaii to answer back and shut them down immediately, because with under 6 minutes left to go, it's still anyone's game right now.
Yeah, they just cannot let the momentum slip here for the Kahunas, as right now the crowd is dead silent at the moment. But Nur getting blocked there by Marcus. Oh my goodness. Marcus is not having it this game. He's going to go ahead and finish it himself as he lays it up and in. And just like that, Oregon's up by 2 possessions.
Old Man Knight saving it up for the final few minutes of the game, and he couldn't have come alive at a better time for the Swashbucklers here.
Yeah, now the Kahunas having to need some kind of answer. Could it be Amato or Rudolph to possibly get this things back going? And Rudolph going for 3 on his own. Oh man,
a blind squirrel will find a nut sometimes, but you know, you don't put all the eggs in that basket there, Rudolph.
Yeah, well, right now it is doing them a little bit of favors. They're trying to stay into this game, but the Swashbucklers are gonna try and see if they can keep what little of a kitchen that they have as they made that basket, as they do pass the century mark 102 to 98. As Amato not able to get it down this time, and now Knight, the hot paw at the moment, looking to possibly extend this lead once again. Then passes over to Rudica. Rudica back to Knight. Knight for 3. And it's not going to be good this time.
As you said, pick your poison. You're gonna double team Knight, or you're gonna double foul coming. Rudolph, the 3, not the time.
Yeah, no time to be a little bit desperate there, and we get a quick foul there, and it's going to be on Amato. So the Bucklers have a chance to extend this lead with these 2 baskets. As Katu is going to make the first. The second one will be good. So the Swashbucklers are now up by 6, 104 to 98. As CC hands it over to Nur. Nur Hands it back over to CC. Both players really trying to wake up a little bit, as they have been a little quiet as the fourth quarter went on, but we will see another foul there on Katu, but this time Amado will go on the line for 2. The first one is going to be good. And if they make the next one here, they will have made the century mark, as right now I'm on the edge of my seat as we are getting it back down to 4. We'll see if the Swashbucklers will continue to try and keep this cushion here.
Yeah, it's getting dangerous. They have to be able to stop the Swashbucklers on defense. And Falcam is not wanting to let them have any opportunities. She's about to break 30 points, 29 totals thus far.
Yeah, and right now she has been on fire throughout the entirety of the game. They just cannot find an answer offensively, and that strip is not going to help things, as Knight going for a mid-ranger, and it's not going to be good. So now Amado trying to find some kind of answer. The rookie going for a tough shot, and it's good. Finding a nice high arc there.
Absolutely beautiful teardrop there. They're still within 4 points, but defense needs to step up. They need to force some mistakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Rudiger, don't make that. Like I know you've been hot, Rudiger, but you know how to make that kind of basket. But right now, Dunphy trying to get the screen, does get it. Go for 3, and it is good. And we get a timeout here for the Kahunas, and now things are starting to get a little bit worrisome if you're a Kahunas fan. And I gotta say, it's been quite the turn of events here in the late goings of this fourth quarter, as they found themselves into a 3-possession deficit.
Yeah, and you know, Hawaii was up by 7 at one point. Sorry, I think 9 almost at one point. But now it's Oregon that's been able to pull away and absolutely dominant on offense. And Nur, great play in the post, got dished long range, able to lay it up and in though.
And we need more baskets like that, and that's something that we're going to have to try to go to utilize, especially if they use it for CC as well. But right now, they do need a much-needed stop there, as we get a quick turnover. So now we can see the Kahunas possibly cut this down to possibly a 1-possession game if they're able to make this basket. As CC hands it over to Amado. The rookie going into the paint, laying it up, and it's good. So, of course, as you know, as those lovely casters, if we say something, something happens. And now, Falcom's able to dunk it down. Runica trying to make sure that everybody stays quiet. And that pretty much shut the crowd up very quickly.
Yeah, and now it's on Hawaii. 5 points, 90 seconds. What can you do? You obviously need a basket, but you need a stop. That is even the big factor here, is can they get a defensive stop?
And now we're seeing Obama trying to pass over to Cece. Dangerous pass, but it still gets through, and the quick dunk is there.
They're gonna put the ball in Knight's hands, obviously.
Yeah, and right now Marcus trying to lay it up, but it's not gonna be good. But Cece, no, excuse me, Rudica is trying to do the cleanup, but it's not gonna be good. But now Rudolph going for 3, and it's good. We are tied up 1-11 apiece with less than 60 seconds left in the game.
See, I'm bullying Rudolph so he hits threes. Even though, stop taking those threes, Rudolph, please.
Well, right now, Marcus Knight trying to quiet things down, but he's not able to get it down. So now the Kahunas have a chance to take this lead. Amado going for 3. It's in and out, but CC trying to clean things up, but draws the foul.
Oh, and I'm looking at the game clock, Marcus. 36 seconds left. You know, even if CC only makes 1, Oregon will potentially only have 1 possession unless they rush it. Hawaii should have the last possession here unless Oregon rushes theirs.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case as CC makes her first free throw. These some very important shots here.
If you're Oregon, do you call timeout and try and get a quick shot off the inbound just to force it so you get the final possession?
I would say so. I think that'd be the wisest decision there if you're the Swashbucklers, especially if both of these are made. And then it's not going to be the case. The second one is missed. So now the Swashbucklers have a chance to possibly take the lead here.
Tick tock, tick tock. Shot clock will be off.
Yep, and right now Marcus will lay it up, and they get the lead as the Kahunas have to call a timeout.
They don't have to, but they have to take the lead, and they get the final possession here. So now, Oregon, what do you do on defense?
Oh my goodness.
Because honestly, Hawaii, you haven't been able to stop CC. You haven't been able to stop Amato. You haven't been able to stop Awada. That's 3 furs. You're going to have to double team, and you can't double team everyone.
Yeah, I think right now the biggest thing is to try and not make this a 2-possession game. So right now you want a chance to win this thing outright. But right now Rudolph going for 3, and it's no good. And with less than 10 seconds left, this will be going over to Oregon. As right now, this might be the end of the game here, as we have to go for another quick foul to possibly take the line for 2. As we only have about under 8 seconds left of this game. This is a really important free throws here for Marcus. The first one does go down.
Someone you expect to handle the pressure perfectly here.
Yeah, that is certainly the case, as Marcus is going to make the second one. We are now have a 3-point lead here, but we got to keep passing over to Rudolph. Rudolph makes the 3. It's good. Oh my goodness.
See, he missed the previous 3, but manages to hit that. And the most difficult time in 2.6 seconds, Marcus, you know, if we go to overtime, I'll put $5 in the jar, okay?
Please. I am begging for this. Oh my goodness. 2.6 seconds left on the game clock. And it will be the Swashbucklers' ball. Who do you think will get the last shot here? Do you think they'll go ahead and give it to
Knight?
Knight's a possibility.
Sure, you could say Astrid, you could say Runikin, but I think you want to get Falcam down the post to try and get a second chance. Give it to Knight, instant shot. Runikin can maybe clean it up if it's a miss.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen here. We get a quick pass to Vickerson. Vincent gets fouled from behind. Oh my goodness, Rudolph with the foul there. With 1.3 seconds left of the game, Vickerson gets fouled from behind, and we'll have 3 free throws.
I believe 2. I think she was inside the free throw line.
Oh
or sorry, the 3-point line. But Rudolph may have just gone from hero to villain, hitting the 3 and then fouling and sending 1.3 seconds left. Hawaii will get the ball, but they have no timeouts, so all they can do is chuck it.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge here if Vickerson is going to make the second one, and it will be good. So they have one more shot as Amato has to go for a heave, and it's not going to be good.
Far closer than it could have been.
The Swashbucklers is unable to escape with that one, 117 to 115. Oh my goodness.
Well, good thing I didn't have $5 on me.
Of course you didn't. Oh man. What a game still though. It's just very unfortunate that Rudolph, who had the 3 right there, but instead just ends up costing him with a very, I don't want to say boneheaded. I think that's a very harsh thing to say, but
ill-timed.
Yeah, very ill-timed.
Well, I'm gonna throw Rudolph under the bus. Yes, he hit 2 very big threes, but he shot 4 for 13 from 3-point land.
Oh,
I feel like other furs could have been taking some of those shots, and Hawaii would have had a lead going into that final possession instead of hoping for a miss. So I'll give him. He hit a clutch three, but I feel like maybe if CC had been given the ball a few more times, a couple more of those
yeah,
baskets would have fallen.
yeah, I can't blame you. I'm pretty sure that Rudolph is like kicking himself at the moment with this one. As we're going through the rest of the stats, I mean, Rutherford had an amazing game coming off the bench, 18 points. It's really excellent job there for Rutherford. And going over to the swashbucklers and Runica, goodness gracious, 31 points, and Marcus Knight 30, 61 points between the two of them. You can't really ask any more between the two of them.
Yeah, easily. And I mean, we'll have to figure out who ends up taking player of the game at the end of the day. Both of them with double doubles. Falcon 3 blocks. The defensive playmaker on top of just absolutely attacking the basket. Those two combined definitely push this team forward, and you have to imagine going into free agency at the end of the year, even though Knight starting to get some questions about longevity, you would expect some kind of contract still coming his way from someone out there, even if it's just to be that kind of veteran for moments like this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the one thing you got to give Knight credit. Credit is due. He woke up in the fourth quarter because I believe a majority of those points came from the fourth quarter. And you can't really ask much for a longtime veteran, especially when you're still in the hunt a little bit for that eighth seed.
No doubt. I mean, the West has been very tough this year. Just because you're below 500 doesn't mean you're out of the playoff hunt, and it's a very close race still between them as we dive into the stats. It's even across the board pretty much. I think Hawaii uh, led in some categories that it took Oregon till the end of the game to kind of catch up with them in terms
Hmm.
of, but technically even Hawaii's not out of the playoff hunt. It's just they're going to need to go on a massive win streak at this point if they do want to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just one of those like you got to win, basically just win out just to have a shot at the eighth seed at this point if you're the Kahunas. But even though they're not mathematically out, and I'm sure that they are still trying to go. This is a very good game for this team. But it's one of those learning experiences, right? Because this, like I said, this is a fairly young team coming in here for this year, and they don't have a lot of cohesion compared to um, the kahunas that we've known in the past.
I mean, that's very true. And, you know, as you said, it's a young team. They're still trying to find who they are as a team together. And it's going to take them some time, I feel like, but they have an opportunity to continue to develop. And uh, even if they don't end up with another number one overall pick, they are going to more than likely have a lottery pick that they could bring in another young player to build around or to add as a complement to Amato, as we saw Amato tonight, absolutely playing great
Yeah,
for a
he's
rookie.
yeah he's certainly the future for the kahunas, and can easily be a long time running mate for Nur, as both of those players really trying to show that they deserve to be the leaders of this team in the future. But of course, we got to give credit to do the Swashbucklers as well. Also a young team, but have a lot to play for still. Sure, there are a few games behind the eighth seed, but this win certainly helps with the standings as we are getting into crunch time.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very tight to see how the playoffs end up shaking out at the end. But any final thoughts before we head off for the night?
Well, I have to say that this was another fun game for between both of these teams, but you know, it's going to be very exciting to see where things go from here as we are going to be heading over to Baltimore as the Spirits will go up against the Pride. I was about to say the Queens.
Marcus, what will I do with you? Anyways, we will see you next time. Thank you all for tuning in. I've been Ryan Eastman.
And I've been Marcus Bayer, and we'll see you guys later.